You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the April 7th meeting of the Michigan City Port Authority Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Directors meeting. I call the meeting to order, and I'm looking for approval or correction of March 17th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
All fair?
Aye.
Comments from public. Mr. Cooper, you have anything you'd like to say?
Nothing.
No, Mr. Glidden?
No, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Reports from the harbor master, Mr. Frame.
All right, well, there's several things going on now that we've arrived at April. So officially, we're open as the marina for the summer. There's probably a dozen or so boats in the marina so far. Most of them are charter fishermen. Across the way, NIPSCO has begun their project to replace 1,400 feet roughly of their seawall. And they're doing that by driving a new seawall directly in front of the old seawall and then filling the space in between with grout or concrete or something. So they started driving a pile last Friday. They did another one today. I think the wind slowed them down today. They expect to be driving pilings through the end of June, and they expect substantial completion of the project by September. So we'll see how that goes. Also, last week or late the week before, the King Company pulled into the harbor with their dredge equipment. And it turns out they're doing some dredging in the outer harbor here for us. So they're dredging 50,000 yards, basically from the Coast Guard station going north and primarily on the west side of the channel. And they came in this morning because of the wind, but they were out all night dredging. And I think they expect to be finished with that by the 28th of this month. Later this month, then, I'm also expecting some stone barges to come in because the Corps has a project to add stone on the outer breakwall. If you notice, the eastern half of it looks like it's been reinforced with stone, and the western half not so much. Well, they're coming to finish that other half. I'm not sure how long that project will take. Also, you'll recall last fall we talked about advancing our dredge permit for Trail Creek, but the weather over the winter kind of slowed everything down. I spoke with Tom Stevenson with Environmental Inc. They're the company that does the soil sample, and we're tentatively scheduled for Wednesday to go do soil sampling. If the weather's bad, we'll try to do it on Thursday. And in the meantime, we've begun putting the marina back together, putting the ladders back in, putting the fire extinguishers back out, getting the water turned on, getting the bathrooms cleaned up, and that's where we are, unless anybody has any questions.
On that sampling, do we use our barge to go out and then they?
We're going to, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That was part of the arrangement, that we provide a platform. I don't know which one we're going to use yet, because I don't know what they use. At one point, the outfit we took along did it manually with like a screw kind of deal, an auger, right? Another time we did it, they had an actual machine that they put on the barge, and it pushed a rod into the ground. So it just, I don't know how fancy or manual this one will be, but.
Have you got a date on when maybe the water will be turned on and the fish cleaning station's open?
Officially the 15th.
15th, that's here on Trail Creek?
Yeah.
Okay, I was asked that.
Weather permitting, we'll try to get it on before that, but the official answer is the 15th. It'll be on by the 15th.
Thank you.
Anything else? Nobody else? All right, moving on. Mrs. Palicki, reports from the Assistant Harbor Master Administration.
Right now, we're just doing regular office protocols and taking phone calls, answering calls. It's about it this time of year. And when's the water being turned on?
Well, that's why I canceled.
Yeah, because it's too cold to run it.
All right. Anything else from Mr. Blickman?
Did you start your summer hours also? Or your spring, summer hours?
Yeah, we're here, Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 and half a day on Saturdays.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Ferguson, budget and financial oversight, review and approval of the bills to be paid.
Just have the review of the bills tonight, Mr. President. You can see on the cover sheet that the summaries, the summary of that sheet, the summaries were total 39,000 and change. There's another 5,000 detailing on the smaller bills on the next page. Take a look at your convenience. But on the front page, you can take a look at these credit card services, some various supplies, B&E, some for our barn repairs that Tim's been talking about the last couple of meetings. There's $4,000 for Edgewater for some more of their permit, dredge permitting. And then we had, I think we had talked about last fall about expending about $25,000 in total on getting the dredge permitting up to date ready. So this is part of that. Looking down, you can see some security, some NIPSCO charges, the typical ones. It's a little expensive on some lawn care. I talked to Mrs. Pilecki about that. They're doing a lot of cleanup of the flower beds and things like that over January, February, evidently. Other stuff is pretty straightforward. There's down at the bottom of that summary page, you see a $414,000, then next to it the CD. We transferred money into that will be part of our capital accumulation for projects. We're doing a CD out of that, make a little extra money, and this records the transaction is all. Goes from operations into a CD that is part of capital. If there's anything else there, I think that is summarized in on the last page. You can see that. So in total, we're looking at a change or a pay of $458,942.85, of which is for the two bills themselves are $44,922.85. So with that, make a motion that we accept and pay the bills as stated.
And I second the motion.
Any questions?
Maybe with a question. Go ahead and take your vote.
No.
Just a comment.
Okay.
We did not renew the CD.
This had been in the operating fund, not in a separate funds. We've been in like the operating balance.
Yeah, and you took it from operating at one
Oh,
point
okay.
and put it into,
Put it in capital reserve.
and then from capital reserve to a CD.
Oh, that's all. Okay,
It's just a trail.
sure. I follow.
And this is actually from the year before. If we're looking at all this, it had been into our operating fund, and now we're gonna move it back where we want it to make some more money, so.
Thank you.
We'll be doing the same thing with last year's excess money from revenue versus expense, and that totals a little bit more than this 414, I think. More on that later.
All right. So, all in favor of paying bills?
Aye.
Moving on. Ms. Ferguson, do you have anything else?
Not today.
Mr. Haynes is not present. Port operations, pretty much heard everything that's going on. We're just status quo of getting the arena open and ready to go. Haven't heard anything negative other than trying to get some things, the weather maybe to cooperate. So the water already be turned on up to 70, but it's not. So we're gonna wait. That's all I have. Mr. Messina, you got some fishing tournaments coming up, don't you?
Later on the end of the month, yeah. There was one over the weekend that got canceled on Saturday till Sunday, and then Sunday they canceled it till next Saturday. So, we did go out yesterday, and there are a lot of coho out there to be caught. And even though there wasn't a tournament, we went out and fished, and
Yeah,
did real well on coho.
nice.
And then just the other question on water and the cleaning stations. I do have a note here, probably should have asked Mrs. Pilecki earlier, about the abandoned boats. Are we
We're
still
still working on them.
working on it?
Well, it takes time to get title releases and stuff like that. It's quite the process. State doesn't
Yeah.
move fast.
I have nothing else.
For the Coho Club, for the tournament, for the discount on the boats, for $15 a night.
Oh, okay, we need a motion of it, do we? I guess we need a motion. For the Hoosier Coho Club
And
Pro-Am tournament and the who?
5 cents a gallon on it.
Okay. Discounted rates as we have done in the past for during the tournaments. And these aren't only for tournament boats, these are for everyone involved or anybody that comes to refuel. From April 12th, is it, first day through May 5th? Slip rentals will be $15 per night, no matter what size vessel you have coming in. And we have a discount of 5 cents per gallon of gas for anyone coming in for fuel. So we've done this X amount of years, I know, and I'd like to make a motion that we pass it for this year.
I'll second the motion.
Any conversation? Anybody want to say anything? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
You're welcome. You all, anything else first? Mr. Messina, you all good?
I'm good.
All right, master planning and special projects parkway is on Mr. Manor.
I have no report this evening.
All right. Mr. Cypress, advertising public relations.
I was just wondering if our attorney has had a chance to look into the dock signage question we had.
Oh, I apologize, I have not yet, but I will get that before the next meeting.
That's all I had, was just where we were at with signs.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem, no problem. Moving on, attorney report, Mr. Zachman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have here, and I emailed to the board and the staff, a copy of the proposed lease agreement with the Michigan City Yacht Club. Board member Sliwa was kind enough to go through and identify some typos, which I will correct, and that would be the final version. They're just typos, right? Yeah, basically typos. I think one that was a little substantive was, it's a 3-year term. I think I only had it till 2027, so it should be,
2020.
yeah, it should be expiring April 30th, 2028. Okay. So that's a substantive correction, but I think everything else is just typos. So as the board may recall, the proposed lease will have a rental rate of $13,200 a year, which breaks down to $1,100 per month, and we would exclude the pavilion. The substantive change that I did make prior to this meeting is on section 1.0 premises, and what I added was, and I'll circulate another version of this, beginning at line 8 till about line 14. And essentially what it does is, I don't have Tim's big map here, but bear with me. The pavilion area is the little rectangle down here. And I'm informed that at the southern end of the pavilion building are some storage shelves and some other items that makes it virtually impossible to access the pavilion from the areas that are not part of the premises. So I included language that said not only is the pavilion excluded, but the Port Authority, any of its invitees or its sublessees and their invitees would have non-exclusive access to those portions of the premises that is leased that would be necessary for them to access the pavilion. So for example, let's say hypothetically, we lease out for one night to a group that's going to hold some event in the pavilion. That group and their invited guests would have non-exclusive access to whatever areas they need of the leased premises to access the pavilion. And that's the only substantive change I made. But that was to ensure that people using the pavilion can actually get to it. So I would await a motion that allows me to present this proposed lease with the changes that I will make, the corrections that I'll make, to the attorney for the Michigan City Yacht Club. Again, excluding the pavilion, rent at $1,100 a month, and then the additional language to ensure that our people can get access to the pavilion when it's in use.
I'd like to make a motion that without the pavilion, $1,100 a month. And also in that motion, I don't know if I need a second motion for that, but also in that motion, if I don't need a second motion, which I probably will, the old lease to be terminated.
That's set forth in the consent to the assignment and assumption agreement. It says our consent is based on the old lease terminating and it being replaced with a new lease within 30 days.
Right. But
So that's already been approved.
that's already been,
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's already been
it's
approved.
going to terminate.
Gotcha, okay. The that's only if we include the pavilion, but we're not including the pavilion. I've got down here 1297 to include pavilion, but we're not including the pavilion.
Correct.
So that is my motion.
I second that.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
And one last thing, I did secure all the signatures for the consent to the assignment and assumption agreement. I've sent final copies of that with all the signatures to the attorneys for the Michigan City Yacht Club and the attorney for Holdings Group. So they have that. The 30 days has started
Okay.
as of Friday. And that's all I have.
Are they aware of that? That the
Yeah.
30 days started Friday? Okay, thank you.
I guess probably your comment means, have they read it to understand that it started?
Well, they certainly should.
That's kind of their job.
Yeah, exactly. If they're not telling their clients that it started, then they're not doing their job.
Anything, anybody else have any new business or anything they want to bring up? New business? Go on, any old business? Table, we gotta wait answers for that. Mr. Cooper or Mr. Lynn, do you have anything else you'd like to add to that?
I'll say.
All right.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All right.